Good evening, campers. I hope you're going well. It's Andy here. A warm welcome to a new week here on the Professional Human series. It's great to have you here. Thank you so much for Anywhere Auctions for supporting us throughout this series. Check them out, team. They are well worth having on your side. Now, gang, how's your weekend out of 10? I want to know how everyone's scores on the doors were, particularly on the front line. If you had auctions, how did they go? If you've had any offers, have they all been wham, bam, thank you, ma'am? Or have you found it a little bit more interesting, a little bit more intriguing, a little bit more challenging to get some of those offers over the line? I really want to get your feedback from around the country as to how you are finding the market right now. So please put a score in the door down this comment section below. Give us a mark out of 10 as to how your weekend's gone. Let us know if you had any challenges and just give us your sort of feeling, your outlook on the general sentiment in the marketplace. At the end of the day, team, our eyes can't be everywhere. So I want to hear from you. Let me know how you're getting on throughout the course of tonight's show. All right. Let me know how your weekend was out of 10. Now, straight into tonight's topic, which is letting go of rusty anchors. Letting go of rusty anchors. Now, the reason why we're having this discussion tonight is earlier today, actually, I had a really cool conversation with an operator up in Newcastle, in New South Wales. And she has been an agent for a few years now and seen a great degree of success. She's a real sort of outgoing individual as well, very much a strong female presence about her, and a top chick. She's very straight to the point. She's very confident without being completely arrogant, which is amazing. She's got lots to like, right? She's got a hell of a lot to like. And we were having a conversation around really sort of getting traction again in social media, right? And getting some traction again in her marketplace was really, really important to her because she'd spent 12 months out for personal reasons. And she just sort of felt, and the commentary that she had to herself was the fact that she'd had 12 months out and she was so far behind the game because of that 12 months out that she felt it was going to be really difficult and really challenging and take a while to catch up, right? So we were having a bit of a discussion, and she looked, to her own admission, social media and just media generally was not her thing. She's very much a traditional sort of connect with humans, interact with humans, have success with humans. Real estate's a byproduct, right? Top chick. And I won't name names because I didn't necessarily ask for her permission to disclose all this, so I won't give her name away, but she'll know who she is potentially. Now, when we were having a discussion around things like social media and all that sort of jazz, and I was finding out what she was good at, what she wasn't so good at, I got to the topic of video content, right? Really important, obviously. And I asked her how she felt around being in front of a camera on video, photography, whatever. Now, the photo side of things, she wasn't that fussed about. She was all right with. But when we started talking about the video side of things and her being in front of a video, she started shuddering. Now, this is a common thing for a lot of people, right? And this isn't necessarily just a conversation around video marketing, but you'll see what I mean why I'm using this as an example. I started digging into why she's got an aversion to video content and why she's got an aversion to being in front of camera. Because, I was straight with her. I said, look, you're a decent looking human. You've got confidence. You've got some spunk about you. You're entertaining. You're an interesting human to interact with. Why would you have a problem being in front of a camera and really demonstrating that, displaying that? And we eventually got to the crux of it, right? Because a few years ago, she mentioned that she was going to do a video to her then employer, to a boss back in the day, who she thankfully doesn't work for now. And it was really interesting because she almost said it subconsciously, which made me feel that this is a real problem for her. Her old boss said to her, and completely destroyed her confidence in one sentence, said to her, you really want to do videos? You're a bit rubbish, to be honest. You're a little bit too woggy. Your accent's a bit too woggy to be on video. And this was only like 3 years ago, right? So we ain't talking 1990, which is what I'm guessing a few of you may have assumed when I'm saying that, right? She got told, and FYI, this was by a WOG-based individual as well, got told that she was a bit too woggy to be on camera. And she's been holding that for a long, long time, for a good few years. That one comment from an archaic individual clearly has resulted in this operator hiding herself essentially from the masses. Now, the reason why video content is so important right now is because it's human connection at scale. Yeah, it's an opportunity to take who you are as an individual and then multiply that, right? So that people can feel a sense of connection to you as a human without you having to go and speak to every single one. G'day, Bo. G'day, Jimbo. Hope you're going well, you two. 8s and 9s coming through. Like it. So, team, she's been really hanging on to this, and she's sort of been really quite self-conscious as a result of what this moron has said to her, essentially. Now, he might not be a moron the whole time, right? He might have just been one-off sort of flippant comment that he didn't think much about. But this has really hindered this individual, right? It really has. So we started dissecting that a little bit. We started digging into that a little bit. And some of the things that I want to talk about in terms of highlighting the need to remove rusty anchors, right? Things that I'm going to mention that will help you to do that. And the things that we talked about earlier on in today's catch-up, because let's put it this way. The reasons why certain people within this industry are not getting things done for the betterment of their career are little things, small little jibes or little digs or little tall poppy comments and remarks that are being used as excuses to not go out and get things done. Okay? Now, let's face it. I take video content, for example. Let's face it. Everyone knows how important it is. Even, the more traditional agents, shall we say, they don't have to be old, but the more traditional agents that really struggle with the technology side of things or whatever it is, they really struggle to get past this getting in front of a camera, but they know how important it is. So, first thing I want to talk about is working out the difference between genuine concern and bullshit excuses. Okay. Now, when I was just to continue the conversation I was having with this individual, I said to her, she said to me at one point, "Oh man," because I was saying to her, I said, "Look, I'm telling you now, your personality, who you are, the fact that you're a woman and you're a strong woman, and I'm saying that as a completely positive thing, in the area where you are, if you were to put that in front of camera, spitting absolute truth, talking your truth and talking about the truth of the marketplace, the amount of cut through that would have in your community would be obscene." She's a real firecracker of an individual. I think she's great. And I said to her, I said, why on earth would you deny people that? And she started to say, it's going to take some persuasion now. It's going to take loads of persuasion now. And I said, hold on. You say it's going to take a load of persuasion. How much dissuasion, realistically, did it take for you to get off that one, to get off this idea of doing video content? Was it genuinely just that one sentence from that one guy that you have little respect for? And she's like, well, yeah, because I've not really done any since. I'm like, So if it only took that small amount of dissuasion to put you off, it shouldn't really take you too much persuasion to get back on the horse. Now, Rick Rushton, I've mentioned him a few times, great mentor of mine, great friend of mine. He's been open in saying if you don't value their opinion, why would you take any notice of it? Essentially, and this is an individual who the person I was talking to didn't really have that much respect for him, really, and she's a gun. So once I started saying that to her, I said, "Look, can we put things into a bit of context here?" I understand completely that sometimes those lines, those simple, flippant lines, can really cut deep into someone's subconscious or psyche, right? Of course it can. But sometimes that's why it needs someone with a outsider's perspective to just put it into that little bit of context. It's one line from one guy who's got one opinion. Now, here's the second part to that conversation. I said to her, she goes, "Oh, look, I've got a bit of a woggy accent, a bit woggy." I'm like, but far out. One of the only reasons why people remembered me for a while is the fact that I've got a dodgy accent. It's one of my true unique selling points. Why is that a bad thing? And she goes, "Oh." I said, "Well, look, let's face it, right? There's no such thing as perfection. It just doesn't exist. And the beauty of humans doesn't lie in the perfection. It lies in the imperfections of all of us. If everyone was perfect, life would be fucking boring. If everybody was perfect on film, on video, on marketing, in listing opportunities, they'd be boring, they'd come across as fake, and generic human DNA, generic human mindset and psyche and brain power would default to what's going on here? What's wrong? What's not right? Something's not right. Our brains are wired to find fault. They just are. They're there as safety mechanisms, security mechanisms, all part of the ego, right? To find fault, to protect, all the rest of it. But I said to her, at the end of the day, you want to be memorable. Right now, a lot of the video content is done by a bunch of guys in suits who don't really stand out from one another because they're all trying to follow this very similar sort of pattern, or one of two or three patterns that's out there right now. What's the harm in you just saying your truth? When you go to a listing appointment, and this is what I was saying to her, when you go to a listing appointment, do you speak your truth? Because she went to pains to tell me how direct she was in her communication, right? Now she goes there and she's not afraid to ask for the business, which is wicked. Love it. That energy, why? Why is that something to hide? The wog in you, this is her words, the wog in you is part of that DNA that allows you to feel like you can ask for business, which gets you the interest that you get, which gets you the business that you get. What's not to like? And this is the thing, team. We're finding way too many of these things or we're treating way too many of these things as massive hurdles. But in the grand context of things, they are just a drop in the ocean. Now, these anchors, these rusty anchors, they can both be negative and positive, right? So hopefully you'll see this individual crack on over the course of the next 30 days, 45 days, because we're going to do some work down the track as well. But here's my point. Some people have rusty anchors that are negatives, like what this individual had from the one comment that was made by some arsehole, right? Alternatively, people can be held back by anchors that are getting rusty because they feel that they have a success formula that will stand the test of time. Tell you now, team, there is no winning formula that will work forever. And the big problem is when it comes to those positive rusty anchors is that we can hang on to former glory for way too long if we're not careful. So we've got a treat. Sorry, 2 seconds. Block user. So we've got to treat each of these positive and negative things, these remarks, these comments, these sort of things of signs of appreciation, all those sorts of things. We've got to treat them all of them, as drops in the ocean. The ocean is your life. Every little comment, remark, every piece of information that you filter into your brain, and bearing in mind, we have God knows how many tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, if not millions of bits of information that flood into our brain every single day. You got to understand, team, if you're hanging on to one bad thing or one good thing that happened like 10 years ago or 5 years ago, whatever it is, then it's going to eventually stop you from moving forward in any way, shape, or form. It just is. So have a think, right? Do us a favor, right? Have a think and a feel as to what rusty anchors exist in your life, be it positive or negative. What rusty anchors exist in your business, positive or negative? The tall poppy syndrome is just so prevalent in this game. And all it is just a fear that is being projected from those that are worried you're just going to surpass them. Well, fuck them. That's their fear. It's got nothing to do with you. And if they are trying to impose that fear upon you, oh, you're a bit woggy, aren't you? That's their fear. It doesn't have to be yours. So have a think and a feel about what those anchors could be and whether you actually, because if it is a valid reason, then that's when you need to go and get some help. Go to a mental PT, right? I call my psychologist a mental PT. We all need it from time to time. Best of the best and the worst of the worst. Everyone needs a bit of mental PT at some stage or another. So if it's one of those valid reasons, you feel it's a valid reason, talk to someone. But if you're looking at that rusty anchor and it's just looking like some drop in the ocean bullshit, sort of flippant comment or line that you're in a vulnerable moment, you've taken to heart and it's caused a bit of a scar, cut it off. The recognition is the key part here, team. Just recognize where these rusty anchors lie in your game. Identify them, see them, and then see them for what they really are. Just a drop in the ocean, team. Quick question from Mickey Wood. Are you defending your auctioneering crown? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I've not got to a nationals yet, mate. I've got to get to a nationals. Last year, obviously scuppered that. I need to get to a nationals. So yes, I am defending, and I'm already training, hopefully, for some benefit down the track. All right, team, hopefully some of you found that helpful, because the individual that I spoke to today, I'm really excited to see what she starts doing, because I think it's going to be really, really cool what she ends up doing. And it's going to, and when we talk about her taking 12 months out for personal reasons, there were shitty personal reasons, and she's worried about being so far behind the 8 ball. You get some of this stuff right, team, and just be happy and confident in yourself and just do, as opposed to what? Think? Procrastinate? Hesitate? All those shitty words. Just do. And just do you. Be you. Own your imperfections, because they're the reasons why people like you in the fucking first place. Who likes perfect anyway? I don't. Boring. Predictable. Embrace the imperfections, team. That's where your beauty lies. All right, gang, take it easy. Stay safe, healthy, happy over the course of the start of this week. If you are having any troubles, give us a shout, give us a yell. More than happy to have a bit of a DM exchange with you. And we will see you, same place, same back channel, this coming Wednesday. Take it easy, team.